The sitcom, I think, was so beloved in the 2000s, Malcolm in the Middle. Its cast was one of the most brilliant of its era. After the Malcolm Project, almost every actor climbed the career ladder quickly and managed to shine. But there's one actor who's going to surprise you a lot. I saved him for the end of the video. Let's get started. Frankie Muniz as Malcolm. The character of Malcolm was actually written as 9 years old. But when Frankie gave a strong performance at the auditions, the character's age was raised to 12, and Muniz landed the role. What's interesting is that Muniz didn't want to go to the Malcolm set that day because of another shoot he had. He thought he was giving up his big break. But his big break was right in front of him. He himself once explained that, due to certain things that happened during filming, he didn't go to the set for a while. In 2008, he took a break from acting. He turned to race car driving and briefly became a drummer in a band. After reports came out claiming he was experiencing memory loss, he explained that it was simply related to his workload. If you're working too much, take care of yourself. Nobody wants to lose their memory. He is currently 40 years old and has a son. In 2026, he reprised the character of Malcolm in the Reboot. It's nice to see him as an actor again. Bryan Cranston as Hal. Even though I haven't watched it myself, were you expecting to see the star actor of Breaking Bad here? Actually, what happened to the Malcolm character also happened to the Hal character. Hal, who is normally written in the script as a character with only a few lines who kept his distance from the family, ended up being reshaped, from what I've gathered, because of Cranston's performance. Here's one interesting bit of info. Imagine meeting your coworkers wearing nothing but a sock. Terrifying. But that's exactly what happened to Cranston too, per the script. He became a legend with Breaking Bad. He won numerous awards. He is currently 70 years old. He's been married to Robin Dearden since 1988, and in 2026, he also appeared in the Reboot and played Hal again. Jane Kaczmarek as Lois, the family's mother, who yells and shouts but has just as big a heart. She received 7 consecutive Emmy nominations, which I think is an achievement in itself. After Malcolm ended, she took on small but memorable roles in shows like Law & Order, SVU, The Big Bang Theory, and This Is Us. In her personal life, her 17-year marriage to actor Bradley Whitford ended in 2009, and they have 3 children together. She shared an interesting detail in an interview. She said that every time she hears a certain Linda Ronstadt song, it still takes her back to the days on the Malcolm set. I guess some roles really do get woven into a person's life like that. She's currently 70 years old and reprised Lois in the 2026 Reboot. Justin Berfield as Reese, Malcolm's rebellious, slightly dangerous older brother. After the show, he chose to move from in front of the camera to behind it, going into producing and becoming the chief creative officer of Virgin Produced. I think this transition was quite smart, because while most child stars struggle to continue acting, he built himself a completely different and solid career. He and his wife Liza had a daughter in 2020. He is currently 39 years old and reprised Reese in the 2026 Reboot. The fact that he could bring back that troublemaker sibling energy even after all these years is genuinely delightful. Christopher Masterson as Francis, the family's oldest son, who gets sent off to military school. After the show ended, he drifted somewhat away from acting and turned to DJing, performing in clubs around the world. I have to admit, when I first heard this, I was quite surprised because you don't usually expect a career shift in that direction. He occasionally guest starred on shows like White Collar and Men at Work. There's also a somewhat sensitive detail about his family. His brother was convicted of a serious crime in 2023, and I can only imagine that period wasn't easy for him at all. He's been married to Yolanda Pecoraro since 2019, and they have a daughter. He's currently 46 years old and reprised Francis in the 2026 Reboot. And now, here's that surprising name I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Erik Per Sullivan as Dewey, the youngest, strangest, but equally lovable member of the family. When the show ended in 2006, he walked away from acting completely at just 14 years old and disappeared almost entirely from public view. And here's the truly surprising part. When producers wanted him to come back for the 2026 Reboot, they genuinely offered him buckets of money, but he politely declined. Why? Because he's currently doing his master's degree at Harvard, and on top of that, he's doing academic work on Charles Dickens. Just think about it. A star of a show once watched by millions has now chosen books over fame. I think this is the most inspiring story on the entire list, because while everyone else chose to keep shining in the spotlight, he chose his own path. The role is now played by Caleb Ellsworth Clark, but he's the only one from the original 6 who didn't return for the reboot. He is currently 34 years old, living a quiet academic life, far from the public eye.